Good afternoon, guys. My name is Lebokgang Mokoena, and we are back again today with another episode of our Thinkbig39 podcast. And today we're at a different location. We're at AGF in Midrand. And again, I'm not alone. I'll allow the people who I'm with to introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. I am Presley Moremi, and I'm excited to be part of this amazing session. So I'll tell you a bit more about myself a bit later.
Thanks, Moremi. I'm Bongani Mkhonto. We are reporting live from AGM. All right.
Thanks, Bongani. This is Byran Sibisi speaking, and I'm happy to be joining this session this afternoon.
Thank you so much, guys, for introducing yourselves. So today we're having a session that is themed or called rather Be Employable, right? So it speaks around CV writing and skills that you need for you to ace your interview. So I'm just going to be asking our panel what they have prepared for the guys today. So maybe I can start with Mr. Byran. What do you have prepared for the people who will be joining the session today?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yes, we have so much, but then we're going to try by all means to make it short. And we just need to understand that you cannot apply for a job without a CV. We just need to give you some information which is of paramount importance so that you go all out there and apply and make sure that you are employed. So in a CV, there's many things which we can discuss, but I just want to speak about work experience. Guys, never stop applying because you do not have work-related experience. There's more things that you have done in your life. You can always make sure that you use those things. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much for that. And Bongani, is there anything that you have prepared today?
Yes. So I'll be taking through the audience now that you've submitted a CV and you've been shortlisted. What do you do when in preparation for that interview, which I think is 80% of the work going into the interview, your preparations, and that 20% showing up on the day, how you conduct yourself, how you dress, the non-verbal communication that you display, and how you handle some of the questions as well. So yeah, I'll be touching on that, and I'll also be linking this to your vision board, and also how you occupy as a person as well. So yeah, that's what I'll be touching on. Thanks.
And last but not least, Moremi, what do you have prepared for us today?
Sure, thanks. So I'll just be applying a plaster on the wall. A lot of the foundation and the bricklaying would have been already built in by the rest of the team. So I'll also be doing the practicality side, doing some live demonstration on how do you conduct that interview, also looking at the practicality of how do you ensure that your CV is relevant, and also just doing a bit of motivation for the guys to say it doesn't matter how much you're failing. What is important is that you wake up every day, you pull yourself up, you shake off the dust, and you continue being the great person that you've been meant to be. Sure.
I think maybe just going back, when you applied for your first job, what is it that you would have done differently?
I think I got my first job based on the application. But I think one thing that I could have done better was to prepare more, right? And actually, that's one of the things that I emphasize on the session, to say you need to understand the company that you're applying for, right? You know, some of the questions that they ask you is, why are you applying on our company? Why our company? So if you can't get the answer to that question, then you might be creating an impression that you don't really care about the question, right? And also, companies tend to ask that question to see if you're a cultural fit. So yeah, that's something that would have been great for me to know. But fortunately, I still passed my interview. I guess I was liked, but I do think perhaps it could have gotten even better had I known that information.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for that. I think that's good advice, that you need to go to the interview prepared. You don't just show up and you are not prepared for the session. Then, Bongani, can you maybe speak us through these virtual platforms that are available now, one for recruitment maybe, and maybe speak around virtual interviews, because we're living in a very fast growing world, and we know that now with technology you can have assessments or onboarding or interviews that happen virtually. So just a brief summary of that new technology.
Thanks for that. So COVID ensured that we are fast-tracked into this virtual way of doing things. And as with that came virtual recruitment. So I'm glad that you asked that question, because my last assessment that I went through, it was all virtual. So the interview, the actual interview, was virtually through Teams. And important things that I noted there is that, firstly, you need to ensure that you have stable, reliable internet. That's the first thing. Where you are, if you're at home and the internet's not reliable, go somewhere where you know you will find reliable internet. Make sure that the place is quiet, because you don't want to be disturbed. And be ready, be camera ready. Be ready to put on your camera so that everyone can be able to see your facial expression, and you can be able to read the room, even though it's a virtual room, but you can be able to read everyone on the call on how they are responding to what you're saying. So that was the second one. And also, thirdly, it simplifies a lot of things, because it's cheaper than you if having to travel to a company to conduct an interview. So it allows you time to be relaxed. You can't even be late because you are not traveling anywhere. Yeah, but just be prepared and make sure you're in a quiet space. Make sure that you know everything that you'll be talking about. Those are some of the spaces, and I'm sure a lot of companies now are doing that with remote work as well. So a lot of that, I see it becoming forming part of a recruitment process, and companies using it to save cost as well. The hybrid approach, where there's a need, you'll be called in, but if there's no need, you'll go through a virtual interview, either being Teams, being Zoom, or even Google Meet, or any form of virtual room that can communicate. You can enable your video, and you can be able to have a fruitful interview. So yeah.
Thank you very much for that. And I think I have a question for Mr. Byran, to say that what tips would you give to someone who's going to an interview, how to conduct yourself when you arrive at the place, basically?
Yeah, thanks for that question. What I'd give to somebody that has never gone to an interview is attend an interview before the day of the interview, because many of the mistakes you make are not mistakes which come on that day of the interview. These are the mistakes we make before. So to give a practical example is, when I went for my first interview, it was on a Thursday, but I decided to go to that place on a Wednesday, so that I familiarize myself with the company, with the atmosphere of the company, and meet some other people who were coming in and out of the company. So when you get into an interview, please do not be overexcited. It's an interview, just relax yourself. You know the manner in which you have been groomed at home. So you go there, you relax. When you get there, don't just throw yourself. Show that you have got proper attitude, proper ethics taught at home. You get there, you relax. You don't just get in, even though the door may be opened. Just go there, stand, request, ask if you can go in. After they allow you to come in, just go there, find a chair, do not sit. Ask again a second question. Can I have a seat? And they'll give you a platform to sit. And from there, I can tell you already you have impressed someone sitting there to say our ethics or our corporate ethics are being applied, even though you are not yet the employee of the company. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that. I think that is great advice. A common question that is asked in interviews is, tell us about yourself. So, Presley, can you please maybe just assist someone who's preparing for an interview on how best you think they can answer that question?
Yeah, sure. That's a very, very, very common question that you'll be asked, right? What's important is the purpose of the interview is to get to know you a bit more, right? So the fact that you've been called in an interview means somebody has already looked at your CV, they liked it, so they want to get a bit more about you. And typically what they're looking at is, besides verifying the technical aspects that you've already outlined, they also want to understand your cultural fit, the type of person that you are, and so forth, right? So whenever they're asking you about, telling you about who you are, you just need to focus on your personality, right? So get to those points that define you, right? Those points that are going to show them that you are a person before an employee or potential employee in this case. So simple things like where you are coming from, your family, your siblings, and depending on the type of company that you're applying for as well, you might also maybe touch on your religious beliefs and all that. But what is important is personalize it, show them that you are a human being before a corporate person. So in fact, one last thing that you need to look at is your hobby, right? If it's a corporate company where people believe in golf and you already enjoy golf, why not say it? You like playing golf. If you love music, why not say you love music? So always identify those critical areas that make you who you are over and above work that might be of interest for somebody to know. And you never know, it might actually be something that also already creates potential long-term working relationship with your employer. Yeah.
There you have it, guys. We just got snippets of what the guys have prepared for us today. And it sounds like it's going to be a great session. So we are really looking forward to it. And we'll be recording the session and we'll upload it on our YouTube channel for you guys to join in and learn from what will be shared with the guys. Hi, guys. So I'm back again. And this time around, I'm with two very beautiful people who are part of our session. And I'll be asking them how they found the session that we had with them, which is Be Employable, right? So firstly, I'll ask them to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Dr. P.K. and
Hi, my name is Michael Lubisi.
So we have Dr. P.K. Mbata and Michael Lubisi. I think ladies first. So I'll start with Dr. P.K. Mbata. What is it that you learned in today's session?
Okay, so one of the best thing I learned was how to write a CV, because that's one of the things I struggled with. So the key thing that stood out for me, like it takes 7.4 seconds to decide if the job is yours or not. So that's how important the CV is. So there's no what I've learned is that there's no like formal layout in how to write a CV. Also, less is more. So also that whenever I'm writing my qualifications, my highest qualification it's advisable that it comes first, but also my experience, like working experience, everything that I do currently should come first.
So I have learned that I've learned on how to write a CV and also how to conduct yourself in an interview. So there are certain information that you have to ask, certain questions that you have to ask, and there are certain questions that you don't have to ask. And also there is a way in which you ought to answer the question. There is certain information that you can tell, but it is not relevant at some point. So you have to stick on the relevancy on the question that is being asked. So you don't have to tell a lot, but you have to be specific on the question that is being asked.
Okay, Michael, I just want to know if you have a CV already. Have you drafted a CV? Do you have, currently you have a CV? Okay. Going back after the session, what are you going to remove from your CV?
I'm just going to add. I won't remove anything because everything that I have is relevant. So I think I'm just going to add. And depending on the kind of a job that I'm applying for, there is certain information that I may take out only specifically for that vacant that I'm applying for, so that I can stand out, because there's certain information that is not relevant. I've been in various fields of which it may not add value on a company if another post is being advertised.
Okay, great. Michael is going to add to his CV. And I think, Dr. P.K. Mbata, you spoke about how it takes just a few seconds for someone to look at your CV and for them to know that this is something this is someone rather who we want to keep in our organization. Outside of your CV being your selling point, what other non-verbal communication skills did you learn today that will distinguish you from the rest of the candidates?
Okay, so what I learned mostly, especially in an interview, like there's certain gestures that I shouldn't be doing, especially with us ladies. I'm busy in an interview, like busy doing my hair or picking my nails. So how I present myself, it should be in a professional manner, in a manner that is very attractive. From the minute I walk through the door, how I said, how I conduct myself during the interview, it's what can add to my CV for me to be employable in that company.
Thank you so much for that. I think you guys can see that it was very informative and we learned a lot from this session. And I think maybe just closing off, I'll ask the guys to rate the session out of 10 and why.
Okay, I'll give it 11 out of 10 because it was my first time attending such, and I've learned so much. And I believe going here, like, you know what, I'm the best, as I said, I'm going to be the best. Whatever I'm going to apply for, I'm going to be the best. Yes.
Okay, out of 10, I'll give them an 8. The reason is there are certain things that I can say that are questionable. It depends with who's giving you that information. So, and also it depends with an organization that is giving that presentation. Yes.
Thank you, Michael, for that. And would you guys invite us again?
Obvious.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for that. And I think maybe just to close off our session, because the people in front of me have been part of our organization, we're just going to have a quick quiz to see how well they know the organization, right? So, the first question I have is, when was Thinkbig39 started?
So the idea was around 2011, and in terms of the different branches, we've had various branches. So I can say 2011, 2012, we had the branch in Palabora. Around 2012, 2013, we had a branch in Tembisa. Around 2013, 2014, we had a branch in the University of Pretoria, being a society. Around, now I'm going to call different years. Right thereafter, we also had your University of Johannesburg, UL, and almost finalized the University of Northwest, but it's still in the card.
Okay, so that is the correct answer. The next question that I have is, how many societies do we currently have? Yes, remember Thinkbig39 has branches and societies, which are the university societies. He touched a bit on it. So if you were listening to what he was saying, he sort of gave you a clue.
No, I think the one that was clear was University of Pretoria, the University of Limpopo, and University of Johannesburg.
Yes, so those are the registered societies that we have, but we're looking into having societies in every other institution of higher learning in South Africa. So look out for our societies and invite us and squeezing in your institutions. Yes, how do people support us in terms of funding? We'll post our bank account. So guys, at the end of the session, we're going to post our banking details because we're a non-profit organization. So you guys can just be on the lookout for that pop-up message and you can donate into our organization.
Yeah, I just want to say something before we close. So Thinkbig39, guys, in a short summary, it's an academic initiative that aims on closing the gap between high school, universities, and the corporate space. So what we do through 3 core pillars, which is education, motivation, and development. We take a learner from grade 8, go through the journey with them until grade 12. We take them through university through our different support initiatives. Once they've done university, we also take them through the same processes now until they become a young professional. Once they're young professional, they come back and give back to the learners that we are supporting, and the cycle starts again. So yeah, that's Thinkbig39. It was nice having all of you guys here.
I think maybe one thing that we didn't address is, how do you become part of the Thinkbig39 family? So
right, it's very simple. So you go to the website, Thinkbig39, or www.thinkbig39.co.za. You first read a bit about who we are, where we are, and all that, and then you will see a button that says join. It's a very critical button. You click on that button, it's going to be our form. You complete it, it's going to provide us with the details and so forth. But what is important is the members of the organization have to have, at a minimum, grade 12, and they should be currently studying in any institution of higher learning. It can be college, it can be a University of Technology, it can be a university. Or if you're already graduated, you are still welcome. And the rest will engage with you as soon as you've applied. We've got lots and lots of fun stuff that we do for our members who are called ambassadors. Ambassadors, very, very, very key word, ambassador, meaning that you're representing what we are wherever you are going. Sure.
Thank you very much for that. I think now that we all know how to join Thinkbig39, we'll all join and be part of the Thinkbig39 family. So thank you very much, guys. We're really looking forward to the session. And to our viewers, stay tuned for yet another exciting episode of the Thinkbig39 podcast. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click the notification button.
We don't cut.